Right, buying your first car. This is the best tutorial on buying your first car. Now, I got my first car when I was 18, and these are just tips that I know about buying cars. Always look online. First of all, look online at pricing. Always look at the pricing, comparing it to a manual or automatic, because sometimes just by having the automatic version of the same vehicle with the same specs can actually cost you a lot more. The second thing is to look at how many liters does the car have. Is it a 2.1? Is it a 2.5? Is it a 1.6 liter, a 1.2 liter? Look how much liters the car actually has, because sometimes for the same model, just by having a higher liter in the vehicle can charge you way more money, and it could be the same exact model. Look at the engine size. Another way with cars is to always look at the engine size of your car. Look at what type of engine is it using. Is it a petrol engine? Is it a diesel engine? If it's a diesel engine, it will actually cost you more in the long run. Yes, you can drive a bit further, but at the same time, the cost per petrol, the cost to actually fill up the car is going to be a lot more, and you're going to have to add an AdBlue as well. Some cars need an AdBlue, not just the fuel, so always look at that. Another thing is when you get to the dealership, always bring cash. This is another one. If you're buying a car, bring cash. Do not have it on the credit card, because they don't know how much money you've actually got on your card. When you actually have a cash in hand, it's easier to negotiate a price. So, if you have cash in hand when you're at the dealership, and let's say you only got 11,000 in cash, they can't try to overcharge you. Say, no, we've got this car and that car. Nope, I've got 11,000. That's my limit. But don't let them know your limit until you've actually seen a range of different vehicles that you like. Another one when it comes to cars is always test to drive the car. Sometimes, the car could look nice, you could like the color, you could like the interior. But when you actually test drive it and you hit the brake and you hit the accelerate and you actually have a feel of the car and have a feel of the steering wheel and the feel of actually driving the vehicle, it might not be for you. So that's another one, is actually test to drive the vehicle. That's actually another good way of actually testing cars before you buy them, is to just give it a little test drive, a little around the track, go down the road, come back, go, do a little bit of parking, get a feel for the vehicle. Another one is don't buy a car that's too big. I know a lot of people want to buy SUVs, want to buy like really big vehicles, and that's great. But if you're living somewhere in Europe or somewhere where the roads are a bit smaller, that's going to be a struggle with parking. So depending, maybe if you're in America and you've got big roads and you can park wherever you want, that's great. But if you're somewhere like, a country like Ireland or UK or England, or you're living somewhere like small, like depending on obviously your country and your size, like even in Latvia, I've been there and the roads are very, very small. So depending on the size of your actual roads in your country, that could be affecting. So make sure when you buy a car, make sure to actually look at where you're buying the car, where you're going to be driving, what you're going to be using it for. Another one is the boot, like the trunk, like the actual boot of the car. How much space is there? Because let's say you want to go on holiday and you want to travel and you need to put like a couple of suitcases in the back, or you're going grocery shopping, you're doing a local shop and you're going to be buying a lot of food or whatever. Look at the spacing of the car. Another one, connect your phone with Bluetooth. Actually connect your phone to the car. Listen to the sound quality of the speakers, because I like to bump rap music, and sometimes they've got a lot of bass or 808, and you want that sound quality because to be coming through, especially with heavy bass. I like Pop Smoke, a lot of bass. So make sure the actual bass of the car, make sure the sound system is good. High quality sound in the car will always make a difference, especially on long journeys, long rides to work, long rides with the boys. You want to pick up a girl, you want to have some nice music on in the car. Nice music is always a good touch. Make sure that the actual sound quality of the car is good. Another one, if you're buying a car secondhand, make sure it's actually certified. Now in the UK we have a thing called an MOT certification, but whatever country you have, make sure it's actually certified when you're buying it secondhand, because don't just trust the person saying, oh, trust me bro, I got it all checked, trust me, it's all good, the car's fine. Yeah, don't be trusting people. Actually make sure you've done all the certified checks. Check the oil, check the engine, check the brake pads, check the wheels, check the PSI, the actual pressure of the wheels. Check the inside mirrors. Another one people don't check is actually the mirrors. Another one, does it have a backward camera when you're reversing the car, like when you're reversing out of a gym, or you're reversing out of a building or whatever, you're reversing out of a car park, you want to make sure, does it actually have a reverse camera? That is actually a very helpful tool. Does it have sensors when you're parking too close to the cars? Does it have car sensors? Does it actually have safety airbags? Some guys be taking the airbag. It's actually a bit of a scam, but sometimes they'll take the airbags out, sell airbags separately. I know they've done that at some dealerships. So make sure that the car actually comes with airbags fitted that can actually save your life. Check this, check the actual seatbelt. Check the seatbelt of the car. The seatbelt's good. Are they comfortable? Are they a bit itchy? Check these kinds of things in the car. It's always good to look at the glove compartment, make sure especially if it's second hand, make sure there's nothing left in there. Is the car clean? If you're buying first hand, you don't have to worry about that. If you're buying second hand, always look at these things. Look if it's actually road legal. Sometimes you can actually check the number plate online and actually see if the car's road legal. Another one, I'd say when it comes to dealerships, look at dealerships outside of your area. So like, for example, if you live in London, don't just look in London, go to Manchester, go to other areas, you know, like look around. Same if you're living in New York, you could go to like North Carolina, you go to South Carolina, you could look at like other areas to actually see if that same vehicle could be sold at like a cheaper price, because sometimes just by your area they'll put the price of the vehicle up just because they know people in certain areas have more money. So that's another one, especially if you live in like a main city. You know, I look out like outside of Washington, outside of New York, outside of London, outside of Paris, because these kind of areas they'll put the price of vehicles up. So that's another one you can do. But like I said, these are just tips on how to save money when buying a vehicle. I really hope that you enjoy your first car. You know, another one, don't get all tinted black windows. You're going to look really sketchy, so do not be doing that. You're going to just get pulled over by police more. Another one, don't buy a red car. I've got friends who get red cars and they get pulled over by police all the time. So, you know, I just say avoid flashy colors, avoid having all blacked out windows, obviously depending on your area. But, you know, if you're living in the hood and you need it, I get it. But, you know, just be a bit careful with that one. But yeah, these are just tips on buying your first car. I really hope that you enjoy the video. I hope that you just comment below what kind of videos you want me to make next.